Welcome back. Good evening and a happy spring, everyone. Today is Sunday, March 20th, 2022. This is your host, Samantha, back with your favorite weekly show, MMTV. Per usual, we have a diverse variety in our lineup, ranging from review videos to news segments and even a skit. Let's get right into it. Starting us right off, we have the incredibly talented Krish sharing another original song on his segment, Drum Studio. Marissa then asked fellow Spartans the need-to-know question of the week.
Probably rebuild it and tear it all down.
I think the school should get some major renovations.
Renovate the school.
Renovations. I mean, actually, maybe tear the whole school down and rebuild it, because who knows? Like, there could still be parts of the school that could be moldy or something. I'm not really sure.
I mean, the school's like more or less falling apart. You're gonna need a new one at some point. I would rather we kind of like get a new one sooner rather than later, so we don't have to deal with the problem when it's like the ceilings are like actually falling down and stuff. You know what I mean?
What's gonna happen after we leave? And I would say that maybe just rebuilding it would be cool, but I mean, I know I've gotten used to the whole turtle outline, so I don't know.
Starting off, I have some great news about therapy dogs. The school committee has finally officially approved therapy dogs to join us in the school. We already have 4 dogs that the school is planning to introduce throughout the course of the spring. This week on Student Profile, we meet fellow student Maggie. Let's see what Rosie has to share. Then we have Conrad's segment, You Ask, We Answer. This week, a special edition of Real Estate with Mr. Roy.
This is Maggie Mitchell. Maggie is a sophomore here at Monument. Her favorite class to take here is ceramics. After high school, Maggie hopes to become a lawyer. In her free time, Maggie likes to watch movies, create art, do her makeup, and go shopping. Some fun facts about Maggie are that she has broken her wrist twice in the same place. Her favorite songs are Hit 'Em Up by Tupac and Hand on the Pump by Cypress Hill. She has a cat named Sparkles. And she has dyed her hair 5 times. Maggie's favorite thing about Monument is being able to see all of her friends at school. That was this week's Student Profile. Join us next week for more.
Ladies and gentlemen, the distinguished author, Mr. Aldous Huxley.
Hi there. What would you like to learn about?
I'd like to learn more about real estate.
There we go. All right. First question that I did not just make up. How young can you start? I mean, until you're 18, I mean, are you able to invest in properties or, I don't know, buy a house and rent out? Or
I don't know if there's any age limit.
like, how would you invest in real estate? I know a lot of people talk about it and how it's really good financially, but most people don't really know how to, I don't know, put money into real estate properly and make money off of it.
So if it were me, and I should have done it a long time ago, for real estate wise, is I would find a financial advisor that you trust, that has a good reputation, and I would find a realtor and an investment lawyer to kind of get all your ducks in a row so that you're not buying a property that's just going to be a black hole for your money. The handier you are, the less you'll have to do with like professional electricians.
The less money you're going to have to pay the professionals.
Yeah, if you're handy, with carpentry, plumbing, electrical work, but some of that electrical work you need to be licensed for.
Right now, there's like a huge trend among younger people or people on like social media apps telling people how to house hack. there's like buying a duplex and renting out one side of it and then living in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like an actual thing you can do? A lot of people talk about it as a scam, but is that something viable?
I mean, if it's the right price, we try to keep a little bit of an eye on the real estate market in the Berkshires, and the Berkshires is not the best place to measure how you can make money in real estate. Maybe not pay for the whole thing, but at least supplement it. You have to make sure the person you're buying it from owns the actual house. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but there are people who pretend to own and try to rent do something that they don't own.
The last question.
Okay.
How did you discover getting into real estate, and how did you try to figure out the world of real estate and start with your first properties?
So my parents actually were both realtors when I was growing up. And then my parents ended up buying the Monterey Mountain Motel, the one right across from the marketplace, back in 1978, I think, and then they kept it through about the year 2000 and sold it to the current owners. So that was kind of their real estate nest egg.
All right, thank you so much.
Sure, appreciate it.
And see you later.
Okay.
Today is the big day, folks. Today is Sunday, the 20th of March is the first official day of spring. I don't know about you, but I am definitely looking forward to the warmer weather. Sometimes you just need a staycation, and there's nothing truly better than a good video game and music playlist. Let's check out Sam sharing his perspective on video games. Nick then follows with a review on some more music.
This week I'll be taking a look at one of my favorite games, a game known for its fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping gameplay, off-the-wall story, and iconic soundtrack. I'll be reviewing Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Released on February 19, 2013 for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC, developed by Platinum Games and published by Konami, Metal Gear Rising is an action game set after the events of the 2008 game Metal Gear Solid 4. In Metal Gear Rising, you play as Raiden, who after many battles has gained cyborg enhancements, leading to the traditional Metal Gear stealth gameplay being ditched for pure action. The game is split into several chapters which follow a formula of having you make your way through a pretty open level, which you fight several enemies while you make your way through the area, usually incorporating some basic platforming and parkour. As you make your way to the end of each level, you're rewarded with a boss fight, which puts all the skills you've learned in the level to the test. Speaking of those boss fights, they're some of the best in gaming. The boss fights are not easy, you're gonna fail a lot, and several times it's gonna feel like it's impossible. But that feeling, alongside the rock soundtrack that plays filled with emotion, always got me to give it another go. Being able to learn the boss's movesets, how to counter, and being able to finally get a win, the sense of accomplishment was unlike anything else I've seen in a video game. The fights are always fun, every step of the way, and I was at the edge of my seat every time. Metal Gear Rising's story is ridiculous and off the walls at all times. It's so intense, and from start to finish, there was never a single point where I felt the story was slowing down or padding its runtime. The characters all have their own ideals and a reason why they fight, which just adds to the intensity of the boss fights. The game's both dramatic and comedic, and that's exactly why I love it. When it comes to the music, like everything else in the game, it's dramatic and in your face. At the start of the game, when the track Rules of Nature hits you with its metal intensity, or the boss tracks like Stains of Time, Stranger I Remain, and The Only Thing I Know for Real, just to name a few, with its dramatic instrumentals and lyrics that act as powerful speeches for the characters, shouting right in your face who they are and why you're fighting them. It's iconic, and in my opinion hasn't been matched by any game. Metal Gear Rising is a classic. Raiden is one of my favorite characters and was fun to play for the entirety of the game's runtime. If you love action games, you have to do yourself a favor and give Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance a try.
guys, and welcome back to It's Music. This week, instead of doing an album review, which you'd be surprised how much I do that here and how much I say that line that I just said, this week I'm going to rattle off a few just single songs that you should probably listen to, while I also get some much-needed shaving in. Our first song of today is going to be a song that, I'm going to be honest, I've listened to a lot, but recently been listening to a whole lot. I'm gonna have to go with Dear Angie by Badfinger. It's just one of those classic, like, not quite a ballad, got a little bit of rock into it, but genuinely, it's just, we like this word a lot here. The vibes are great. How about we do a song, I think it's got pretty good vocals. It's been on my radar a lot recently, not to say that the person in question, which is Elvis Costello, isn't someone I've listened to for a while, but I really think you owe it to yourself to give Accidents Will Happen by Elvis Costello a listen. Instrumentally interesting, and the vocals I also quite enjoy. I'm not usually a lyricism person, but I cannot lie when I say some of the lines in this song I find rather interesting and rather good. Also, talk about a group where the bass player is disproportionately better than the rest of the musicians. Not that many of you care.
Wolfpack.
Yeah, right. Well, after a clean shave and a good long day, I'm feeling more like me than ever before. I'm here to tell you about the last song on this little listaroo. Well, now that I can move into something a little more comfortable, last song I was thinking of is a little Masayoshi Hiro Takanaka song called O Tango Suerte. Now you might be asking yourself, what does that name entail for the music? Have you ever wanted to hear acoustic guitar so good that it sounds good in your ears when you listen to that? You need O Tango Suerte in your life. Also, every part but the vocals are great. The vocals are okay, but still not as good as the rest of the song. And I'd just like to say thank you for tuning into It's Music this week. This time you've watched me go full clean shave while telling you about some songs you gotta listen to. Please.
Casting for Monument's upcoming play has finally been posted. Check out any of the Monument TVs for the entire cast list. Congratulations and good luck to all the Spartans participating. Let's first hear from Julia, sharing a dish you can cook right at home. This week, we're looking at a Netherlandian dish. If cooking quite isn't your fancy, we then have Alex sharing his book review of the week. is the official start of spring sports. Don't forget to show your Spartan spirit by supporting each other at games and always practicing good sportsmanship. Ray is back this week, sharing everything there is to know about botany. Let's check it out. Then, we have Brian sharing all the soccer highlights.
Hello, and welcome back to Ray's Not So Neighborhood Plants and Botany. Today, we're learning about a much more common plant that you may grow in your garden every summer, the dahlia. It is native to Mexico and some other parts of Central and South America. They used to be, and sometimes still are, harvested by the indigenous people of Central and South America. They are used as food to treat epilepsy, and the long, hollow stems of Dahlia imperialis were used as water pipes. The flower grows from bulbs in the ground that are used year after year. Dahlias are special because they come in hundreds of different colors, shapes, and sizes. Some don't even look like the same plant. This is because dahlias are octoploids, meaning they have 8 chromosomes, opposed to the normal 2 that most garden plants and living beings have. All these extra chromosomes mean that there's very little consistency in what your different dahlias may look like, with hundreds of different varieties of what they look like or even what shape their petals could be. However, this makes the flowers extremely unstable garden plants, as dahlias also have mobile genetic material called transponds that can change the plant's genetic makeup as it's growing. So one year, you could have solid color flowers and the next bicolor flowers, and in some cases, they can undergo stress-induced spontaneous mutations, so their colors could be a totally different hue the next year. Dahlias are one of the few flowers that will actually change so drastically from year to year every single time the plant regrows. And though sometimes these mutations are caused by stress to the plant or its surroundings, there are many cases when it's just random. Now for some fun facts. There are 9 different species of dahlias, and referring to the dahlia flower is more of an umbrella term. Because dahlias are warm weather plants, before the ground freezes in the fall, you should dig up your dahlia bulbs, then plant them again the next spring. In flower language, a language in which flowers have different meanings in bouquets, dahlias represent many things, including elegance, creativity, change, and dignity. Dahlias are considered one of the most beautiful and most requested flowers from professional landscapers and gardeners. The more you cut away at a dahlia, the more it will bloom, so don't be shy when harvesting flowers for a beautiful bouquet. That's all for now on dahlias. See you next time on Ray's Not So Neighborhood Plants and Botany.
The chess tournament has begun. Check out the bulletin board in the library for the current standings. Now, it is finally time for our Sports Weekly, where we give you all the latest updates in the sports world. This week, Wesley shares the national sports news. Let's see what's going on during these crazy times. Right after, we continue with sports on Caden's basketball news recap. Take it away, guys. Are you interested in making Monument a brighter, more colorful place? If so, we are looking for designers and painters to help. Go see Mr. Leslie for more information about this awesome mural opportunity. Take a seat and kick back. It is TV time. First off, we have the Mias with their TV show on the series Young and Hungry. Then, Tessa follows with a movie review on the classic horror movie The Shining.
Hello everyone and welcome back to me and Mia's TV review. Today we are reviewing Young and Hungry. Young and Hungry is about a girl named Gabby who is in her early 20s. She always dreamed of being a chef. When her and her mother actually dreamt that together. She then goes and applies for this job at this huge penthouse for a billionaire tech guy named Josh. When Gabby arrives at the penthouse for her interview, she makes Josh a simple grilled cheese. This makes him hire her right on the spot because every other chef he interviewed made him gourmet dishes. Gabby and Josh's relationship is not the usual boss-employee one. They fall in and out of love throughout the seasons. The next employee is Yolanda. She is funny, kind, she says what's on her mind, and she probably has the biggest heart out of all of them. She's the housekeeper, so she just cleans the penthouse. She took Gabby under her wing when she was first working there and didn't know anything. She also is kind of like somewhat of a mother figure to Josh, as she makes sure that he doesn't do as much stupid stuff as he'd like to as being a 20-year-old man. Elliot Park is Josh's right-hand man and his butler. He's very short, which Yolanda and Gabby usually make fun of him for. He was very negative towards Gabby at the beginning of the season because he liked Chef Michael, another guy applying for the job, way better than Gabby. But as the seasons progress, he begins to grow fond of Gabby and acts like he's her sister. Speaking of sisterly relationships, Gabby and Sophia have been best friends forever, and they are now roommates. Sophia is, I will say, kind of a lot like Yolanda. She is sweet, kind, very loving, but she's kind of like also like a mother bear. She will say what's on her mind, and she will protect people who try to hurt her friends and family. The show is out on Netflix. It only has 4 seasons. It ends in such a terrible way, personally. Nothing bad happens, it just leaves you with suspense. Though the show is awesome, I love it. It has comedy, it has romance. It is definitely a total package for a teenage girl. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
The Project Connection spring registration page is now live. Activities run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. Some options are virtual, and there are over 15 to choose from. Posters are located throughout the school with a code you can easily scan on your phone to sign up. Go check it out. There is truly something for everyone. Now, up next, we have Troy's segment with the same content, just a new name. Let's hear what Troy has to discuss on the segment All Things Action Figures. Then, we have Weatherman Luke sharing the weekly weather forecast.
What's going on? My name is Luke Arianti, and I'm here to bring you your weekly weather forecast. This week's weather is going to be as such. On Monday, it's going to be in the 50s, and it's pretty much going to stay like that all throughout the whole week. Today, on Sunday, the sun rose at 6:57 this morning, and it's going to set at 7:05 tonight. It's going to be a windy day on Monday, as we're expected to reach a top speed of about 16 miles an hour blowing out of the northwest. And as we get closer to summer, the spring weather starts moving in, and the days are getting longer and the weather's getting warmer. The average temperature has risen about 3 degrees this week, and pretty much we're expected to stay on track, about a 3-degree raise every single week. The average high for this week is around 50 degrees, and the average low is about 42. We expect rain later on in the week on Wednesday and Thursday. It'll be gone though by Friday, and the sun will come back for the weekend, as it's going to be partly cloudy, partly sunny Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And but overall, we should just anticipate a pretty great week, as it is going to be mostly cloudy. But the weekly high is probably going to fall on Tuesday, although Monday and Tuesday both are going to be around the same temperature. It's going to be mid to high 50s on Tuesday, and we can expect about a 13-mile-an-hour wind also blowing out of the northwest. That's all for this week's weather forecast. And this week's weird weather fact is that on March 20th, 1986, Great Britain recorded the highest wind gusts ever in the United Kingdom. At the top of Mount Cairngorm in Scotland, the wind was recorded at about 150.3 knots, or 173 miles an hour. And it's pretty crazy. Nothing like that's coming into the Berkshires anytime soon. But that's this week's cool weather fact, and back to you, Samantha.
Thank Thanks, Luke. Now it is time for the weekly lunch schedule. Monday starts off a bit of a twist, breakfast for lunch. They will be serving egg and cheese bagels with an additional sausage option as well. Tuesday will be serving baked macaroni and cheese. Wednesday is a barbecue chicken wrap. Then we finish off the week with Thursday's Philly cheesesteak and Friday's cheese calzone. Last but never least, Orson is back in his segment, Shoe Review. Afterwards, a short skit will be performed by Hyatt. Let's see what they have in store.
Alright, so tell me about your shoes, Luke. Yeah. What are they? Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name's Sai. I'm on top of a mountain, and man, I sure do love nature. There's just one problem though.
I miss TV!
Well, then it's a good thing I brought my TV in a box where I can watch 3 pre-programmed television shows and not much else.
The makers of this video would like you to be aware that all following actions are completely improvised. None of this was on purpose.
James, what are you doing on the computer? We have a party to go to.
Oh, the party? Don't worry, I'm all prepared to go to it.
Oh, really? You're all prepared, Mr. Smart Guy? Well, tell me, what'd you bring to the party?
I brought socks.
Oh, James, you got some splaining to do. TV in a box. It's TV in a box. You put TV in a box, you watch TV in it. People like TVs in a box so much that this is what they said about it.
Sir, what do you think of TV in a box?
I wish I had 2.
There you go.
That's only 1. This is the opposite of the wish I had.
As you can tell, he liked TV in a box so much. He wanted to buy 2. We only had 1 though. It's this one. TV in a box! Bathrooms! Today we're looking at a real ugly one, folks. This bathroom, it hasn't been cleaned in years.
The shower, I rank this with a shower score 7 out of 10. I rate it a smudgy out of 10 because there's some smudges on it, so I can't give it a proper rating. I don't like this one because it makes me see my arms, and I'm scared of arms. I'm really scared of them. Thanks for watching the bathroom show on the box. Oh great, it's my favorite segment,
Thanks,
the end of
Hype, for that
MMTV.
different perspective. And that brings us to the end of this week's edition. Thank you for joining us tonight. We always greatly appreciate your support. If you have any suggestions for the show, please reach out through our email, monument.tv2021@gmail.com. And as always, don't forget, we will be back next week, same time, same channel. This has been your host, Samantha, from MMTV, signing off. Have a great night, everyone.
That went smooth. It wasn't